I apologize for the sudden jump scare. To those who expect that I look already, how do I say it, like this when I wake up, then I apologize, but it's far from that. And also to those who think that, I look perfect, or that, I have the perfect facial features, skin, whatever. That is also not the case. It does need some time before we get to those results. So today I decided to do a get ready with me and a small Q&A while I'm at it. I asked you guys different questions on different platforms. Some of you guys use YouTube but don't use Instagram, some of you guys use TikTok, etc. So I asked questions on different platforms and I will be answering them here. And since I am not going anywhere, I am literally just waking up and getting ready for you guys, so you should be thankful. So as you guys can see, I already have my contact lenses on. I didn't really want to put them on camera because I suppose that it's a bit traumatizing for both of you guys and myself, so yeah, maybe someday and not today. I already did some skincare too beforehand, so we are gonna start with sunscreen because it's quite, sunny and hot these days. Don't forget your sunscreen. Also, I have to mention that this sunscreen works both as a primer and a sunscreen, so you don't need to worry about, basically using a primer, so that's one step out of the way. I'm gonna be answering some questions, actually both that were asked specifically on the Q&A and some that I get quite often. I do lives and there are some questions that I get asked a lot. I will answer those two over here. The reason why I don't like doing my makeup on camera and why it's even worse while doing a Q&A is because it's already time consuming and I can work with only one functioning brain cell, so I need to completely focus on what I'm doing. And if I'm doing a Q&A or trying to pay attention to the camera while I'm at it, it's really distracting for me. So I'm really doing my best for you guys. And yeah, I'm gonna skip foundation because I don't really need to use foundation on my whole face. I'm not a big fan of foundation. It's mainly something that I would probably use if I'm gonna do cosplay. Fascinating, don't I? Honestly, there's really nothing special about these steps. I'm just basically, blending the concealer on spots that, either have discoloration or imperfections, things that I'm not very comfortable with. I have to stop recording here and there. The camera overheats and is no, not today. I have to answer something for some of you guys who wonder about the blue spot under my eye. From when I was a kid, people keep asking me did you hurt yourself? Did someone punch you? Is that, smudge makeup? It's none of those. It's just something that I was born with. It's a type of vein that basically shows it doesn't hurt. So anyways, after finishing up with concealer, I usually use a little bit of powder. Don't judge me with my eye shadow brush on the blue spot to make sure that it's completely covered, and to also make sure that even if it's blazing hot then it's not like gonna get smudged. Even though honestly this concealer is very nice, it holds up really well, but it's nice to have like a backup plan basically. I mean, look at this, just using some concealer I already start to look pretty different. But anyways, generic questions that I get asked are related to where I live and like if I was basically raised in Japan or like born and raised in Japan, if I'm half and stuff like that. So I currently live in Japan, but it's been about a year, a little bit over a year since I started living here. Prior to that, I used to live in Europe. More precisely, I lived in France, Norway and Portugal. My shortest stay was in Norway. I was born and raised in Tunisia. I actually only left Tunisia when I was about 18 or 19. I don't remember, to be honest. I think 19. Like 19 and about to be 20, if I'm correct. Honestly, I apologize. I literally don't remember. But around that age. If you want, like a more precise story time about, like my travels and all, then I can answer that in a separate video. Other generic questions are, how old are you? I turned 26 this month. A lot of people think that I'm much younger than that, and I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. That makes me really happy. Other generic questions. Oh yes, the very famous question of, are you single? Do you have a boyfriend? Are you married and such? So I am not single, I am married. And yeah, that's all you need to know. So a few other generic questions that I receive are, for example, when I respond to the fact that I'm married, some people ask if he's Asian, and I wonder why, but then I think that the most logical, answer is that she lives in Japan, so is her husband, Asian, Japanese, and yeah. So yes, my husband is Asian. He's specifically Japanese. My sinus is absolutely dead, so I apologize if my voice or nose sound dead at some point, but it is what it is. You guys would be surprised that I actually use this brush for both applying the eyeshadow and blending it. I don't need 1,000 brushes to usually do my makeup. Another generic yet funny question for me before I move on, to other questions is, do you do cosplay? And if this question was asked over here on YouTube, then I would be sure. There was only one video where I was in cosplay, and it was for the Nier Automata Fan Festival. I'm gonna put the link of the video right here. But to people who follow me on other social media and who ask me that, I'm like, you literally just gotta look at my profile picture, and that's gonna answer you. There are much more generic questions, but I honestly forgot to note them, and I wasn't thinking of doing a Q&A video anytime soon, so again, yeah, I didn't think about it, so let's skip them for another time. But anyways, now concrete questions that I have in front of me. So one question is, so tell me, do you play games? I think my background speaks for itself. Yes, I do play games. And a question right after it is, what is your favorite game? My current favorite game is Nier Automata, and I made my Twitter account actually based on Nier Automata. My Instagram and TikTok name are also related to Nier Automata. However, I do play other games, including the Persona series, my favorite being Persona 3, Cryzen, I guess. I do like games like Zelda. I play just the classics of Zelda, for example, Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. I am shameless. I need to play Breath of the Wild. I really wanted a Switch specifically for Breath of the Wild, and now that I have it, I'm not playing Breath of the Wild. Shame on me. I play other games on the Switch, such as Smash. I am not very good at it, to be honest, and because I was introduced to Bayonetta on the Smash, and because I love Platinum games, I do want to try Bayonetta sometime. But I am majorly a PC is Master Race person, so I mainly play on the PC, like classics like Tomb Raider, Prince of Persia, Rayman, and so on and so forth. I play some games on emulator over there because I grew up not having much consoles. And yeah, I played, Nier Automata and Nier Replicant over there too. So yeah, I'm mainly someone who uses their PC to play games. Another question that I got is, do you have kids? No. Another question, because this person decided that they wanted to ask multiple questions, and it's, does Mr. Yorha know more than one language? And the answer is yes, he speaks Japanese and he speaks English. Again, to those of you who have seen my other videos, you've seen him speak in English, actually. Oh, and I find it funny that the people on my Instagram and TikTok like to refer to my husband as Mr. Yorha, since my name over there is Dear Yorha, so that's actually quite wholesome for me. But yeah, a question asked by one of my not only followers now but friends is, what's your favorite color? And my favorite color is actually black. I'm keeping my eyeliner simple, by the way. So I hope it will be. Oh my goodness. My eyeliner is dying, just like my soul. Yeah. And I already started with this one, so I can't change the type of eyeliner that I'm using. I will not use fake eyelashes though. That is something that I know. This shit was actually pretty good. It was I don't know, 20 fucking euros, so it's not even a cheap one, but sometimes even supposedly good eyeliners fail you, so. Oh my god, why is my eyeliner failing me today? Let me see other questions while I'm trying to salvage my eyeliner. What is the average rent in Japan, and is the immigration hard? So the average rent in Japan is relatively expensive. I hope my husband is proud of me for saying relatively, because I keep saying relatively, but it's relatively expensive, especially if you lived in countries like Portugal or France. The rent is relatively expensive. But that eyeliner is long as hell. If you want concrete numbers, accurate numbers, then the internet is your best friend. It's probably gonna be more accurate than myself. I'm not getting paid for research. And when it comes to immigration, it was really hard, especially when everything was closed during COVID time. But it depends on the purpose, and well, if you have all the papers they request, if you have a reason to come here, then it's not that it's hard, but you have to get all the papers needed. Since I needed to go to multiple countries, I wouldn't say that it's any different. It's basically the same drill, but in a different country. But to those who have never experienced living abroad and needing to apply for a visa, etc., then it's probably gonna seem quite difficult to do. So anyways, let me do my other eyeliner, so let me focus.
Two hours later.
Yeah, today is not a good day for eyeliner. My eyeliner today took like, they don't have to be twins, they have to be cousins, a bit too far. It's like two complete different styles. So guess what? It's time to remove most of it and work on it all over again. Why do I have to suffer? Complete focus when I'm doing my makeup, especially eyeliner. I respect you, all makeup gurus who do your makeup on camera, because yeah, the fact that I'm holding my mirror too doesn't help at all, by the way. Yeah, anyways, a little break for me to try to fix this mess. The reason about why I get so pissed off, by the way, about like needing to fix eyeliner is because you're gonna need to remove some of the eyeshadow, and that's what's basically irritating for me. It's mainly that. And well, if you have foundation on, then my prayers go to you.
Much later.
Okay, so I'm just gonna fix the eyeshadow a bit. I mean, you guys can't really see it, but I can, so it kind of bothers me. But at least, you know, we kind of pretty much salvaged the makeup. Okay, I think this is decent. It depends also on if I'm gonna put on fake eyelashes or not. I don't really feel like putting on fake eyelashes. I think I'm just gonna like work with my own eyelashes. So mascara, please save me. Anyways, going back to some questions. First game that you were introduced to. So it's kind of hard for me to remember what was the first game I was introduced to, but I would say Mario on Game Boy. So yeah, like Mario on Game Boy, and like we got basically Game Boy and we got a few games. So overall, the first games that I was introduced to were like Mario, Street Fighter, and what else? A few random games, Pac-Man, but like those are the ones I can remember like right away. This video is gonna be a pain in the ass to edit, isn't it? I love how I was planning on doing something like rather quick and that wouldn't be annoying for me to edit, but I'm stuck with something that seems like it's gonna take some time to edit. Raiden on YouTube asked me, what is your favorite comfort food? And I would say that my favorite comfort food depends on where I live. I am not a picky eater, it's more about what I can't eat. So for example, I would say that when I used to live in Tunisia, my comfort food was a sort of like soup, like macaroni, which is like a relatively poor meal, but I like that. It's, you know, like something that we could eat anytime, and like it's you know, close to ramen and those kinds of foods, but like the Tunisian take on that. That was basically my comfort food in Tunisia. When I moved to Portugal, one of my comfort foods was arroz de marisco, which is like seafood rice, and it's also like more soupy. And I also really like bitoque. Like the first thing I do when I travel to Portugal is that I go eat bitoque. Bitoque depends on the restaurant you go to, but like when there is like the sauce, like when it's properly made, then I absolutely love it. In France, I do not like French cuisine. I am so sorry for the French audience watching this, but I would mostly eat like basically foods from other countries. I would say that my comfort foods are basically very spicy chicken wings or like fried chicken overall. I don't even remember if the store was Tunisian or Moroccan, but Jesus Christ, it's like KFC but 1,000 times better. And another thing was like, what they call their tacos, but it's not a fucking tacos, it's more like a burrito. And like they sell really big portions of that, and it's like has a generous amount of meat, and I absolutely love that. I was greedy one time and like I got the L size and I couldn't finish it. I needed to split it. And back in the days I used to eat a lot, so now I almost eat nothing in comparison to before. So if I try to eat that nowadays, Jesus Christ, I would probably like, you know, chomp on it a bit and then I wouldn't be able to eat it. And now that I'm in Japan, like again, not one food, but some of my comfort foods include konomiyaki and takoyaki and what else? Japanese curry. Simply enough, I really like Japanese curry. It's one of my favorite foods over here. I also really like Chinese food, by the way. I used to live with Chinese roommates, so we would make like food together, and man, I loved like their hot pot. Chinese hot pot is so good. But whatever Chinese food I ate, I just absolutely loved it. So yeah, it's a quite lengthy answer, but I hope that this answers you. Let's get back to some makeup because I feel like I'm never gonna get this done, and yeah, I kind of want to, you know, finish it. So I'm gonna finish doing my makeup and answer a few more questions and call it a day. My skin is so shiny right now that I don't even need to use like highlighter for the nose, like it's already shining bright. Some people ask what's the secret of like glossy skin, and in all honesty, it's if you have oily skin, it's gonna be like that. That's the natural way. The other way is that you simply need to like have probably prepped skin, so like it's gotta be moisturized enough, and then you'll have, you know, like the high quote famous glass skin. My brother got me this makeup palette like back when I used to live in France. It's What's the Tea, and I absolutely love it. I sadly broke the mirror, but it's basically something like this, and every like cup has a name, like Spill the Beans or like Tell It All, Drama Queen. I love it. Look at that. This mascara especially like gives you a lot of volume, like it's literally get big lashes. I got this from Portugal. It's volume and curl mascara lash lifting from Essence. It's from a pharmacy, literally, and it's not even expensive. It was like 3 euros, 4 euros. So for the effect that it does, it's definitely worth the price. I'll be like, oh my god, it's a blue lipstick. This is more like a tint, so it looks like that, but it turns pink. Part about this is that it doesn't smudge. It's basically, you know, close to those tattoo lipsticks, but basically dollar Chinese lipstick. Even though I couldn't find it online and I couldn't like find it, like my Chinese friends couldn't recognize it, even though like these were sent to me like from Tunisia, and you get it like from like the, how do you call it, the market, like the weekly market, and you get this shit for like $1, and yeah, it stays on basically, like it starts fading naturally and gradually throughout the day. So honestly, this is about it for the makeup. I would go more extra and put like fake eyelashes or like do more highlighter, but again, I'm keeping things tamed down and I'm gonna wear a wig today, so I will be right back. Stay hydrated. I was actually wondering whether I should wear like a light wig. I honestly love basically white/silver hair, but since I have like naturally dark eyebrows, it means that I'm gonna need to murder them or almost completely murder them, so we're gonna keep that for another time. And of course I didn't put the wig cap here, so I'm gonna need to unpack another wig cap. I did not cut the bangs of the wig that I'm gonna put on right now because I am a fool and I forgot about it. So I'm gonna have to do it right now. So again, bear with me. And I need to, yeah, like that you can see like my head. Look at me. This is my peak beauty. I'm not really bothering that much about little hairs because like it would matter if I'm gonna wear a light wig, but this is the wig that I'm gonna wear. It's brown, so it's completely okay. The net was here. I am a fool. I am a complete fool. Okay, let's get this going, people. In the end, my makeup honestly is close to like what I would usually do if I'm planning on getting dolled up, so it's a quite generic makeup for me. Like my daily makeup is even more simplistic. I sometimes just slap on mascara and completely like avoid anything that has to do with like eyeliner because it's time consuming. And yeah, and if I want to be more extra, as I said, like I put on fake lashes, you know, I gotta like fix it up a bit and I gotta cut the bangs because I see no shit and I don't feel like putting them on the side. I'm more like front bangs person, so I will return shortly. Okay, I cut them a little bit. I'm always so scared of cutting like wigs, even though I've done cosplay for like ages and I have, you know, needed to cut many wigs, but you know, I'm still always kind of scared of fucking up. Also, this wig is really nice, like it's really full. Ooh, it do be giving. Like I kept them on the side. I like bangs like this, but what I mean is like completely on the side and you could basically see my forehead. I kind of don't like that kind of hairstyle. I'm gonna accessorize a bit and I think we are gonna call it a day when it comes to makeup. To add a little bit of color to my lips, and I guess that I'm gonna add a little bit of gloss to give that juicy effect.
2,000 years later.
So we are back after literally 2,000 years because the file got corrupted. Like I got bamboozled by my own joke. But yeah, this is the finished look, and if you wonder why my skin magically looks smoother, then it's because I'm using a filter. But overall, I think that I did a good job at recreating the makeup. Well, do the best that I could, because yeah.
Hello darkness, my old friend.
Anyways, let's go back to answering the questions that got literally burnt. This question says, are there any works that you would like to see animated, like manga or games? At least I suppose, because they said anime and games, so I suppose they mean mangas adapted into animes. Yeah, let's go with that. Yes and no. So the first one for games being no. I go with the policy that especially RPGs should just stay as RPGs because usually end up being not as nice as we all expect, if I may say. The main issue is that in RPGs you get to make choices, you get to do quests and all of that, and you can't really do that in like an anime. You're just, you know, someone who's watching. In my opinion, RPGs should just stay as RPGs. And also I've seen like some otome games, so dating games, being adapted as animes, and they weren't bad, but usually it ends up with an open ending. Like for example, Amnesia and Alice in the Kingdom of Hearts, if I'm correct. I forgot the name. I love the manga. I absolutely love the manga. The movie, however, is kind of not the best out there. Yeah. Overall, it's quite popular for some otome games or dating sims to be adapted into animes, but some are a hit, some are a miss. So that's basically it. So for me, it's kinda a no, in all honesty, especially for RPG. Mangas. I would love to see my beloved Deadman Wonderland remake. So you'd say, but Deadman Wonderland has already an anime, and they did the manga really dirty, if I may say. They absolutely butchered the manga. I know that people who only watch Deadman Wonderland will think, oh, but it's not a bad, you know, anime, it just didn't get a season 2. But the thing is, they butchered some things from, well, the first season, which makes it impossible to have a season 2, so it's mainly that. But overall, the manga is fantastic, so I absolutely recommend you to give it a read. And another one is Inu Secret Service. So the anime isn't bad, if anything it was hilarious, it was really nice. The problem is that it basically stopped at the introduction of the manga. Like that's only the intro in the manga. So basically when we get to the juicy parts, when we get to the mind-fucking parts, then they didn't get animated. So that's sadly the problem with Inu Xboku. Like, I really loved the voice actors, I really loved the whole thing. It was pretty nice overall, and the manga has a really special spot in my heart. May the mangaka rest in peace, she died a long time ago by now. Yeah, that's about it for this question. Let's move to another one. So the next question is, when are you coming to Portugal? Honestly, if you sponsor my trip, wink, then right now I would just, you know, pack my shit and come right now. I would love to come. I miss all my friends, I miss all my homies, but yeah, I'm currently broke and unemployed, so that is sadly not possible.
Your familiar face.
Let's move on to the next question. The next question is a little bit more complicated. It says, imagine that at the end of your life you get reincarnated and you have the possibility to live a second life. What would you do? So my answer for this one is no. No, thank you. I have had enough. No. The thing is, I can't even imagine like being reincarnated. Thing is, usually if you get reincarnated, you won't have your memories of the past, right? So I wouldn't even know that I was given a second chance, you know? No, I have had enough. This is already difficult enough. Thanks. No. Anyways, next is how easy is it to bond with people in Japan? How does it differ from other countries? So for this question, I would say that it's a little bit difficult to bond with Japanese people, and it's not because they're not friendly, it's simply because they mind their own business, which is a good thing, isn't it? But if you want to make friends, if you want to bond, it might be a little bit difficult. In all honesty, it depends on your background, it depends on your circumstances. For example, I am unemployed, I don't study, so I'm obviously mostly at home. And if I'm at home, obviously I'm not gonna meet a lot of people, obviously I'm not gonna have the opportunity to interact with a lot of people, and I'm not gonna go to the supermarket and go talk to a random person or like in a coffee shop or whatever. Again, I'm not gonna go hit up random strangers and be like, hi, do you wanna be friends? I'm not a suspicious person, I swear. I'm just lonely as fuck. But obviously, if you go to university or if you go to your workplace and all, it might be a little bit easier for you to make friends. But I would say that it depends on your personality. If you're outgoing and willing, to get out of your bubble and to try to make friends, then you might succeed. If you don't, then no. You would tell me, you go to Decora meets, you seem to have friends and all. Well, obviously, if you go to events or meets, etc., then you have higher chances of making friends. But prior to that, I didn't have friends in Japan. Like, I spent about almost a year without friends. I only started making friends when I went to the Decora meet. And how does it differ from other countries? So I'm gonna state my experiences, well, depending on the countries that I personally lived in. So, let's start with France. I was awfully lonely, I was miserable, I did not have friends. No matter how hard I tried, no matter how much I tried to get out of my bubble, to reach out to people, to try to talk, to interact, I just couldn't. I guess it's just not a place for me, basically. It's obviously not the same for everyone. There are people who go to France and who have an amazing life, who have a lot of friends. It didn't work out for me, so that's my own personal experience and that's my own personal statement. I really tried hard though, and because COVID also started, well, not very long after I started living in France, so I didn't have to. So there is that. Portugal was the easiest place for me to make friends. Portuguese people are very friendly. We seem to be homies when it comes to like a lot of cultural aspects. For example, like being generous, liking to share meals together and stuff like that. Of course, that doesn't mean that the moment that I got there, I made friends. In the beginning, I was a bit confused because like I had people around me who were friendly, by the way. Like, they don't reject you, they don't block you, they don't put like a wall in front of you. But obviously you're not gonna be close buddies if you don't share similar interests, etc. But they are very nice to you. One day I decided that, I wanted to make friends because like I moved to the countryside and obviously I had less opportunities, than when I used to live in the dorm. And I went to a carnival party and I saw this girl and I just decided to get out of my bubble and to go talk to her. And by talk to her, I just mean, do you speak English? And look at us, years from then, and we are, best friends. She's like my little sister and, I met a lot of people from then on and, they're my fucking homies. So that's my experience with Portugal. As of Norway, I didn't really make close friends because again, COVID. I lived with Chinese roommates and we became really good friends. As of Norwegian people, they are really nice. Like, that's all I can say. I remember one time, like, I was confused about like the train system and there was a girl who literally was offering to pay for me because like I was confused about how to pay, etc. And she was like, oh, if your card doesn't work, I can pay for you and all of that. She was just a stranger that I just, met. So they're really nice, they try to help you. Even my classmates, we didn't become like close buddies because again, COVID, and we mainly had classes online. But for example, on my birthday, we went, to a hangout and they surprised me with cake. And I was really happy because I'm not even close to them, yet they were so nice to me. Like, honestly, they are very nice people. Norwegian people, shout out to you. So I would say that personally for me, France didn't work out. And I guess it depends on the region, like where you live in France, who you are exposed to, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's my own personal answer, and I hope that it helps. So the next question is, what are things that you don't like? This is a bit like broad as a question, like it's not very specific, so I'm just gonna give like some random things that I don't like. For example, I don't like radish. No, not Japanese radish. I do like the Japanese daikon. I just do not like, you know, that small red radish. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I just don't like it. But if we talk about, you know, more meaningful concepts, then I would say, for example, I hate hypocrisy, I hate lies, I hate the heat. Next question is, what's an anime movie that I like? There are many. I'm a big fan of Ghibli's movies, so for example, Howl's Moving Castle, Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke, and so on and so forth. So I would say that Howl's Moving Castle and Spirited Away have a really special spot in my heart, because again, I watched them when I was relatively young. I rewatched them again, and yeah, they just mean a lot to me. And I even cosplayed Chihiro and Sophie back in the days. So the last question for today, because I'm calling it today, is, what do you have against my sweet Kirby pop? That is a fucking abomination. That is just, you know, a crime against fucking humanity. This round cute thing is Kirby. That abomination is not Kirby. You can call it anything. You can call it a monstrosity, you can call it, you know, an ugly ass square, but not Kirby. Fun fact, so the person who asked this question was one of my followers and became also a friend of mine, and he went through the trouble of actually going to buy that Kirby because he knows that I absolutely hate it. So shout out to Bruno for the trouble he went through to get that monstrosity. So anyways, we're gonna call it a day. Well, like, I'm gonna wrap up this video. It ended up being much longer than I expected, and because of technical issues, well, it was even more extended. Like, honestly, I felt really bad because I thought I was finally done. I was really happy to upload my video on time, and then like it just, you know, like the last part got corrupted. So it is what it is. Anyways, I hope you liked this video. I don't know what you guys think of this type of video. Do you enjoy it? Would you like to have, you know, story time videos another time? And let me know your thoughts in the comments or on my other social media, however you like it. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you next time. What am I doing with my life? Get out of here!